You're future pacing your clients so that they actually see that, hey, this thing is really going to sell. That is an important detail that you need as a listing agent, and it's going to help advise your client so that you can better serve them. You are going to lose really great people because your clients are abusing them with these mundane tasks that get them off track from all the other work they have to do. I love this one, guys, because at the end of the day, what does your seller truly only care about? Closing. That's your fault. You did not warn them that, hey, per Trek laws, per CCAR, wherever you are in the world, I am required to send you all offers in writing. I am never expecting you to sign any offer I send you. Okay, so you've taken your first listing. You've been making your calls. You got your first appointment. You used the pre-qual script, and now you're wondering, what do I do next? A lot of agents, one of the reasons why you're a little nervous about getting your first listing is you don't exactly know what to do when you do get one. So today, what I'm going to go over with you is exactly how to start off the relationship by building trust, by helping your seller to relax, knowing that they're in the right hands. And the way that you're going to want to do that is to show them something different than what they have experienced before. Show them that you are an organized professional. Help them to understand by future pacing them through everything that's about to happen with their home and with the process. See, a lot of agents, when they go about listing a home, they don't actually talk about selling the home and what's going to happen throughout the process of selling that property. You are going to do something different. This is what to do when you get your listing to help create trust with your client, to start off on the right foot so that the experience is better for everyone involved. This is also going to help you with if you're looking to scale your business and be able to handle a lot more listings at once. What I'm about to show you is going to help you to be able to do that. Here is the new listing email that you are going to send out. So you got the listing signed, whether electronically, via DocuSign, whether you got it signed in person. This is what you're going to send out. And this helps all parties in the transaction to know exactly what's going to happen next. Now, it's also going to help everything happen smoothly so that you and your staff are not running around like crazy once you start listing 4, 5, 10 properties at a time. Some of you are probably already doing that. So feel free to use this with your current staff so that all of you can be more organized and have a better quality of life if you're already doing a lot of business. So first, you're going to want to put all the client's information. Any of you ever have a situation where the home goes under contract, title's emailing you, your transaction coordinator's emailing you, and everyone needs to know, how do we get in touch with the client? You're not going to wait until the home is under contract. You're going to do it immediately once you get that listing signed. You're going to put all of your clients' information in that initial email. If you are the team leader and that listing is going under another agent on your team, you're going to have both you and the co-listing agent's information so that the seller knows who to reach out to when they're having trouble or if something happens. Make sure they have your phone numbers, your emails, everything. Your transaction coordinator or your assistant's information. If you are working with a lot of expired listings or for sale by owner listings, chances are when your assistant reaches out to them, they're going to think that's another agent and be rude to that your assistant by accident because they just don't know, right? They don't know who this person is and they've had hundreds of realtors calling them. So make sure they know that you're either your transaction coordinator, whoever your support staff is, they should have their phone number and their email in that initial onboarding template. This is initial onboarding template that we're going over right now. This is an email that you're going to send out once you've gotten your listing signed so that you can coordinate all parties involved in the transaction. All right, so now you're also going to tell them who's going to handle escrow of this property. Now, in the state of Texas, I'm able to, as the listing agent, I'm able to direct escrow myself. If you're in a different state, you can put your attorney's information. Now, why are we doing this before we even have an offer? You probably want to know, like, I just got the listing. Why are we already talking about who's going to close it? Your future pacing your clients so that they actually see that, hey, this thing is really going to sell. Hey, this gal or this guy is really serious. They're getting us in position right now to already be at the closing table. The point of this does a few things for you. It organizes everyone so that they know what they're doing. It's called leadership. You're the leader in the transaction. And it also helps people to relax, to feel like I'm in good hands. I don't need to be worried like I was with my last agent. I don't need to be on pins and needles, not knowing if my home is going to sell. Giving your client this information up front helps them to relax, knowing that they're in good hands and that their agent expects this thing to close. They already have you in communication with who's going to close it for you. So make sure you're putting that information in your initial email under all the parties that are going to be involved. Now, if you're going to have a stager, you're also going to put your stager's information in there, because, like, for me, I don't pay for staging, my clients pay for it. And there are going to be times where the stager needs to speak directly with the seller, or the seller has questions for the stager. So you make sure that they have each other's information by including it in this initial onboarding email. You're going to put the property address. You're going to let your transaction coordinator know whether or not you've already sent the survey, or you're going to advise your client to send it to your transaction coordinator. We want the survey to be in the MLS so that showing agents have a copy of it, and so potential buyers can look at it before they make the offer. Because in most states, if you already have the survey, that is less of a cost for either the buyer or the seller. In states where you do not have the survey, sometimes your seller is going to be required to get one and to pay for it. So you want to go over that, because it could be a point of contention in your contract negotiation. If your seller doesn't have a survey, it's better for you to know that up front so that you know how to handle it. In some states, surveyors are on a 3, 4, 5 week wait list because it's spring market and it's hard to get them out there. You might want to go ahead and order that survey to be done before you're even on the market, so that you're not having to extend closing and losing time in your transaction. So again, you're going to want to go over that immediately. That is an important detail that you need as a listing agent, and it's going to help advise your client so that you can better serve them. So you're going to ask them in your initial onboarding email to send the survey to your transaction coordinator, and you will find out whether or not they have one if you don't already know from the listing appointment. Then you're going to tell them, you're going to let everyone know in the transaction if the listing agreement and disclosures was signed. So most of you are already going to have one signed at this point. Some of you are going to send your listing agreements via DocuSign, and you just want to let everyone know that it's on its way. More disclosures. Again, that's for you and your support staff to know where you are in the process. For some of you, your support staff sends out all of these things for you, so they need to know what pieces are missing, and that way they can take care of it. Staging. Again, you're going to want, if you're going to do staging on the property, you're going to want to have the information of the stager. You're going to want to let the seller know when the stager is coming, have all those details there so they know what to expect. Photos. Your transaction coordinator, or whoever your support staff is, this is you telling them what you need done. Again, this is saving time and saving another step for you. You should not be arranging your photos as a listing agent. Your support staff should be doing that for you. That is not a money-making activity for you as a listing agent, and nor is it something that helps your seller. Your support staff should do that. Let them know what kind of package you want and what photographer you want to be used, so they know who to coordinate for you. Your lock boxes and your signs. I personally use a delivery person for both. I know that some agents will have their photographer do it for them. Whoever is doing it for you, just know that it should never be you. Signs and lock boxes, if you are spending the time to go out and do that, you know what that tells me? you're a low producing agent. And I don't mean that to hurt anyone's feelings. You'll never meet an agent doing 50 or more deals who delivers their own signs or lock boxes. It's simply not possible. So if you want to get into the big leagues and you want to make the big bucks, stop doing low paying things that are below your price and your value. You can easily find people who will do it for $50 each way. It doesn't have to be something expensive, but you do want to let your seller and your staff know what to expect. So in this case, we used a combo lockbox. In some cases, you're going to use a Supra. Whatever it is you're doing, you want to make sure that everyone is aware of what's expected so that there's no surprises. And again, like your sellers, right, guys? If you tell them all of this stuff up front and they see like, wow, how many people are working for you? Don't you think they're going to see you as a professional and not just some agent who took this up as a hobby? A lot of what we do is about being professional, and that's what makes people more comfortable with us. When they see that you're the quarterback in the deal and that you're really good at arranging all of your people, it gives them a sigh of relief. And a lot of your job in the beginning of getting a new listing is helping your clients to trust that you got this. They're going to be a lot happier with you, a lot more relaxed when they feel that they are in good hands with you. And this new listing email, this template that's arranging everyone, is really the key to making that happen. Okay, so after the sign and the lockbox, then you're going to go on to describe the narrative. I don't know how many times you guys have dealt with this, but some sellers, they want like a book about their house. That's why you want to put it in the new listing email. And you're going to let them know, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you're going to have an opportunity to approve the narrative or make edits. But we're not going to sit here and write a book and redo it over and over again. So you're letting them know that up front. You're setting the expectation. Live. So all these things need to be done before the listing goes live. You want to have your seller and your support staff on board with knowing what to do. So we're letting them know, hey, you're going to get an opportunity to approve your listing before we go live. And this is the date that we expect to go live. For this particular person, it was 4 p.m. March 13th. Now, what is the reason why we're letting people know that we expect them to review the listing before it goes live? Does anybody know why we do that? It's because, have any of you dealt with the seller that calls you every 5 minutes because they want something that they saw on Zillow changed? If that happens to your support staff, they're going to quit on you. You are going to lose really great people because your clients are abusing them with these mundane tasks that get them off track from all the other work they have to do. So again, we're setting the expectation. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and you should talk to them about this in the listing appointment and then reiterate it on this new listing email. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we're going to go live on March 13th. In that morning or the day before, whatever it is you tell them, you're going to receive a listing proof. And what you're going to have the opportunity to do is to make any edits you like. Once that listing is live, we can no longer make any edits other than price. Do you understand? Why are we doing that? Again, we cannot be having phone calls the day you're listed, 10 of them. Oh, we don't like the description. Oh, the number of bedrooms is wrong. You cannot have that happening to your staff when you're listing 3, 4, 5, 10 homes. They are going to quit on you if they have to deal with that. So you're going to give your seller one opportunity before they go live. And once they are live, there are no more changes other than price. Okay, and then you're going to let them know who's handling title and how you expect to close. I love this one, guys, because at the end of the day, what does your seller truly only care about? Closing. They just want to know, when are they going to get their money? How much money are they going to get? And when? You are, again, future pacing them. Here's how closing is going to go. And I'm very specific with people about in the listing presentation about how they want closing. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. I'm not here to list your property. I'm here to sell your property. So I really could care less about the nonsense in between. What we care about is where do they want to close and how do they want to close? So if you have people that are like out of state, if you have someone who's homebound, you're going to want to let your escrow, your title company who's handling it, know that they're going to need a mobile notary. For a lot of us here, they don't charge us for mobile notaries because we do so much business with them. They are willing to cover it. And that's just another benefit that you can offer to your seller as just another VIP service for appreciating them as your client. Showings. This is huge. Anyone ever have like, oh my God, panic attacks over showings when the thing is first listed? Anyone besides me have sellers just completely freaking out because, oh my God, all these people are coming and I'm getting tons of text messages. Oh, what do I do? So again, you're going to talk to them about this. If you've talked to them at the listing appointment and they tell you they work from home and showings can only be scheduled for a certain time, you're going to put that in this section so that your assistant understands when they're setting up showing instructions, what your client wants. It's going to alleviate a lot of that stress of the panic and the freaking out. So up front, before the home is even listed on the market, you're going to have a very clear understanding with your seller about how and when showings are going to happen and what the process is. So, this particular person, they didn't live in the property. There was no approval needed. This was very easy. The combo is on the front door and showings could be scheduled online. For some of our listings, these instructions are very detailed. It's going to say things like seller works from 10 to 4 from the home. Showings can only be scheduled from 4:30 to 8:30, and the seller must approve the showing via text message to XYZ phone number. Again, this is going to alleviate stress and a lot of unneeded phone calls, and you're just so much more professional setting this up ahead of time. It also helps if you're an agent who, maybe you're about to go on vacation. You cannot be getting phone calls in the middle of Bermuda or wherever you're at because showing time doesn't know what to do, right? You want to set all of these things up ahead of time so that it runs smoothly. You're the consummate professional. Your clients are happy, and there's none of this panic that tends to go on with showings when a home is just first listed. Some of you know exactly what I mean, and you're probably laughing your butts off right now because you've experienced it. Now you're going to future pace them again. What do they want? They don't care about photos. They don't care about the heels you're wearing when you're showing the house. All they care about is when am I going to get an offer and when am I going to close? So you're going to talk to them about what happens when they receive the offers so that they know what to expect. Now, any of you ever have a client that you send them an offer and they freak out on you? Oh my God, how dare you ever send me this offer? This is insulting. That's your fault. You did not warn them that, hey, per TREC laws, per CCAR, wherever you are in the world, I am required to send you all offers in writing. I am never expecting you to sign any offer I send you. But if you didn't warn them of that and they get some low offer, they might call you cussing you out because you never explained it up front. So you should be talking to them about this at the listing appointment, and then you're putting it in writing in this onboarding email that you send to your clients with all of your staff and all parties involved. And what you're going to say is all offers will be sent to the seller via email as they are received and negotiated for highest and best terms. When more than one offer is received, we will set an offer deadline. In this case, we expected to receive one, but don't say that to people if you don't expect it, guys. Never tell people that you expect multiple offers if you don't. In this case, we did. And what you're doing is you're just helping them to understand what's going to happen next so that they're not freaking out and panicking. Because again, guys, like selling your home is super emotional. If you've never done it yourself as an agent, I suggest you sell what you got right now so that you can understand what people are going through. It's really emotional. And when you're sending them offers that are low and they're not understanding that you haven't negotiated them yet, they're going to get a little upset with you thinking you're telling them to take it. So you have to future pace them that, hey, this is what's going to happen. It's totally normal. Here's how we deal with it. And they won't freak out on you. They'll feel great about it. So after you future pace them on offers, what you want to talk to them next is about who are all these people that are reaching out to them. So they may not understand, like, because a lot of people just have one agent who's like, it's a hobby for them or they're a housewife or whatever. They've never worked with a professional that has a staff. So now you want to talk to them about what's going to happen next. And this is a polite way of telling them, you as the quarterback in this deal and the team leader, you should not be spending time on them calling you because the last person who showed the home left the lights on. That's not what you're there to talk about. They can call your assistant for stuff like that. You are here to get them offers, to negotiate the highest and best terms, and to help them to the finish line to get the most money they can get. All of the nonsense about, somebody came here with heels today and they didn't take their shoes off, those are calls for your assistant. You should not be wasting your time with that because it keeps you from doing the things that actually make them money, which is selling their home. So you need to point them in the right direction of someone that can help them, whoever that is, whether that's your transaction coordinator, whether that's your assistant, whether you have a VA in the Philippines that's supporting you, whoever that person is. This is the point in the template where you need to make it very clear to them who is to help them with certain things. Now, one thing that happens for me a lot is my support staff will send out documents like disclosures, addendums, stuff like that. And I won't even know they've been sent to the seller because, I'm selling the home. And sometimes the seller will call me and be like, what is this you just sent me? And I will have no clue. So in this part of the onboarding email is where I let them know, hey, look, if someone sends you a document to sign and you have questions about those documents, here's the person you need to call. Here's the person you need to reach out to. So whether that is like I said, your VA, your assistant, whoever it is, make sure your seller knows that you're not sending them those documents, and make sure they know who to call when they have questions about it. It's very simple, but you would be surprised how much time it saves you, how much it helps the seller to relax knowing that they're in good hands. And you know what? I would say probably the first 7 days is the most important time that you have with a new client because they're nervous. They don't know you. I mean, unless you guys are longtime family friends, but typically they don't know you. They're not sure if they made the right decision. A lot of sellers, they have their friends at church in their ear. They have their friends and family in their ear. And what they really need from you is to step up and be a leader and help them to understand, yes, my agent got this. I don't need to listen to Bob at church tell me about how this agent knows this and this agent knows that, right? They will be able to turn off all of those other voices and deeply trust in you if you take these steps when you first get a listing.